Entrepreneurial spirit is one of the most successful perspectives you can embrace as a business leader who is looking to develop a long term company success story. Entrepreneurs think and behave in ways that provides them with the leverage to create, maintain, and expand their business ideas into thriving realities. Such spirit breathes new life into the sometimes stale ways of doing business. Today, more individuals are turning to entrepreneurial opportunities to build their future and remain more in control of their personal lifestyles. For many, the corporate world has lost its luster. The variety of opportunities seem endless. However, to succeed in the business world as an entrepreneur, a certain mindset or entrepreneurial spirit is necessary to ensure you have the necessary grit. HRAI welcomes you all to the 2023 Dialogue Masterclass series on the topic Embrace Entrepreneurship. To know more about the HRA and its events, I would request all our participants to visit the link and details posted in the chat window. Request all the participants to kindly follow the webinar guidelines mentioned in the chat window. It would be great to have all the participants' feedback. We will be running a poll before the Q&A session. Request all participants to kindly give your feedback on the session. I now take the privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker for today, Ms. Vandana Tulani, founder and CEO, Convento. Vandana has over 15 years of experience in international and domestic business advisory and fundraise. Her core area of working is fundraising for early stage startup across sectors and industry sub-verticals. Starting her career with her family offices in Singapore and Jakarta, she worked as an investment banker and advisory to family offices and angel investors in Indonesia and Jakarta. Her diverse experience in helping startups build their roots and gaining expertise in areas like fintech, B2B tech, and consumer startups is something that has led her to build Convento and what it does today. Vanna is well versed in helping growth stage startups from diverse sectors like edtech, fintech, consumer B2B, B2C, agri-tech, health tech, food tech, disruptive and deep tech, as well as non-tech centers. Her opinion on leading business agendas is often sought by leading business news channels like Business World, and she has delivered over 100 plus talks on the technicalities of the sector. You can follow her on LinkedIn. The link for the same has been shared in the chat window. Without wasting much time, I now hand over the platform to Ms. Vandana. Over to you, Ms. Vandana.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Pooja, for the wonderful introduction. I'm thankful to the HR Association of India for having me here over and over again to give talks and to be able to present my presentations to all of you. Even though Pooja has introduced me very well, I would just like to recap a bit. So I was in Singapore and Jakarta for 15 years, and I had my own family office fund there. Essentially, this is my 9th year back in India. I did investments and then I went back to advisory. In my 9 years of journey, I've done 185 investments in more than 40 countries. We are sector agnostic. I have given a 350 plus talks, which can be seen on YouTube and also on my website. I'm the top 10 women leaders in wealth management 2021. My brand Convanto comes under the top 10 women entrepreneur brands along with Nika. Convanto is also the top 10 consulting firms in India led by a female founder. And I was also awarded as the Woman Entrepreneur of the Year 2021. In Jan 2022, I was awarded as the top 10 futuristic women in India along with Nika. In February, Dr. Kiran Bedi has awarded me as the best financial institution in supporting startups in India. Apart from this, in August, a book has been released on Amazon, which has reached the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. This book covers stories of 25 women entrepreneurs, out of which one of it is myself. Um, Outlook Business Magazine has covered me up as a role model for women entrepreneurs, which was in the month of August. Apart from this, I've been called by the government of Dubai and Italy recently um, to give speaking sessions and also to encourage entrepreneurship over there along with judging pitches over there. I'm the sole partner with IPV Ventures to make documentation, which is pitch decks, financial models, valuations, and business plans. So without further delay, I would just share my screen and start the session. I have made it into a Q&A session because I didn't want it to, make it monotonous for the audience that I am only speaking and they are only listening. So would request you, all of you, to just put your answers in the chat box. So Pooja, I would be able to read the answers or somebody would be reading for me.
Yes, you can read the answer from the chat box.
Okay, fair enough. So I'll just share my screen and we'll start today's topic.
Sure.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
So why did I choose today's topic as embrace entrepreneurship? It's because this is the upcoming thing, and we are seeing more and more people take up this journey, post COVID, especially. During the COVID time, I had CFOs, CEOs come up to me with lot of skill sets, but they didn't know how to start their journey, which is when I started guiding them, and hence the topic for today is embrace entrepreneurship. This is about my company, which I've already spoken. This is about me. So, would like to ask all of you, what is your definition of entrepreneurship? What is it that comes in your mind, when you look at entrepreneurship? I would just open the chat box to read the answers. So anybody from the audience can take it up. What is entrepreneurship? So Yasir says, for me, it's freedom. Anybody else from the audience? Anybody else would like to take up the answer of what is entrepreneurship? So, okay, leadership, Kabir says it's leadership. Anybody else? Entrepreneurship is starting something on their own. This is by Tushar Gadvi. Okay, so let me talk about what I have compiled it into. What is entrepreneurship? So if we look at the dictionary, it simply says an entrepreneur is one who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of a business or enterprise. Now, for me, an entrepreneur is a risk taker. Entrepreneurs may invest their own money, borrow funds, or leave stable corporate jobs to pursue a new venture with uncertain outcomes. Although they may not fully understand the low likelihood of success, they trust that their instincts and prepare for the potential long-term financial rewards. Now, many people who were in the corporate journey before COVID and they had lost their jobs, they had the skill set to start on their own, but because they were in a job, they didn't know how to switch to entrepreneurship. The first step towards it is to have your LinkedIn always enhanced. Whatever you are starting, always make a website. It's very simple to make a website on your own. Apart from this, have whatever business you are running. You can start simply by putting a small WhatsApp story, a Facebook story, something that is shown to your network that you have started on your own. Now, entrepreneurs are also visionary. Entrepreneurs possess a natural inclination towards creativity and innovation. They view the world differently and are constantly seeking ways to improve business operations, increase revenues, reduce costs, enhance products, and enhance customer experience. Uh, why I see this so is because an entrepreneur is always working towards these three things and they have the inclination towards it. Uh, Entrepreneurs are leaders. They possess exceptional abilities to bring together teams of co founders, employees, investors, clients, and partners to support a high risk venture. They possess strong communication and sales skills, which enable them to effectively convey their vision and rally others behind it. They often have the role to chief cheerleader of the company, and also, entrepreneurs are typically driven by the desire to lead rather than follow in a large organization. Now, in a large organization, we are following a department. We have a senior in the department, uh, and we are glued to one department. So, what happens is we are not looking at what is beyond in other departments. How to pick up those skills as well. As an entrepreneur, we get the opportunity to pick up all the skills, be it sales, be it operations, be it marketing, be it financial skills, be it skills to, run the organization on your own itself. Now, for me also, it's a pit pull. An entrepreneurship requires a level of resilience and perseverance. A successful entrepreneur should be able to handle setbacks, challenges, as building a startup is often a process of taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. When faced with financial difficulties, they find a way to overcome them. However, it's also important for entrepreneurs to know when to cut their losses and move on, using the lessons learned from a failed venture to succeed in future. If you're not willing to face and overcome challenges, entrepreneurship may not be the right path for you. Now, what happens is, being an entrepreneur, one is very, very afraid to take the leap forward. I mean, being an employee and then turning into an entrepreneurship. Now, a successful entrepreneur would always have had some failures. It's not that all the successful entrepreneurs have never had failures. They've had setbacks, they've had challenges. It takes a long while. It took me 9 years to become what I am today. So, when I came back to India, I had 2 little children with me, so much in hand, and also to carry on with the entrepreneurship journey. So there are challenges always, but one should be ready with it. Many people who started with me left because they didn't have the patience, perseverance to continue, or the consistency to continue the business. Now, let's go to the next question, which is why embrace entrepreneurship? Why one should embrace entrepreneurship? Can I have the answers from the audience? I've opened the chat box. Why one should embrace entrepreneurship? How will it help you? I mean, what comes into your mind when you feel like you might want to embrace it? Yasir says to be financially independent. Of course, that's a good answer. Any other answers? To explore, okay, to explore the possibility of getting into an entrepreneurship journey. Achieve extraordinary heights is what Tushar is saying. Explore was commented by the HR Association. Capability, Ayush says capability, fair enough. Any more answers coming up? Okay, so here's what I have compiled, which I'm going to show you. First thing is you are your own boss. This allows you to make your own decisions, set your own schedule, and have more control over your work environment. It also allows for a greater flexibility in terms of work and personal life. Now, when why I chose, I could just give my example so that you could totally relate to it. When I came to India, I had two little kids, and I had single-handedly I had to manage my kids. So I decided not to take up a job, but to start what I had started in Singapore and Jakarta and become an entrepreneur. This helped me. Firstly, I was making my own decisions. I had my own work times. I could manage my kids. I could manage my employees. I could manage things on my own way and still make my earnings. So this is why I wanted to choose entrepreneurship. Also because I always felt boxed in. I didn't want to be under somebody. I wanted to be a leader in a certain way, and I wanted people to work under me. So this is what I chose. Now each day is different, and nothing is monotonous when you're in an entrepreneurship journey. Entrepreneurship is not monotonous because it's constantly changing and presents new challenges every day. So every day there's a different thing that comes up. It's never the same. As a business owner, you're responsible for multiple tasks and have to make decisions that will affect the future of the company. Now, in India, women are not allowed to make decisions. Women are not allowed to manage money. It's very, very important for women to get into entrepreneurship because they will be allowed to manage their own money. Apart from this, they will be responsible to make decisions. They don't have to go back and ask somebody to make decisions. I know women in the board of VC funds where they are at the board of VC funds, but the decision is made by somebody else. I know entrepreneurs as well. Essentially, entrepreneurs who are women leaders who have come to me, they have not been able to make the decision on their own. Is either their husband is making the decision or the brother or somebody else. Similarly, I have seen men where the decision is made by somebody else. So when you turn into an entrepreneurship, when you start this process, as a business owner, you are responsible for everything and you make the decisions. That will affect the future of the company as well as your group. So, once you start this, you're already growing yourself in a certain manner in your skill sets. Entrepreneurship also requires being adaptable and to be able to pivot your business strategy based on market conditions and customer needs. Now, any entrepreneur who's humble doesn't mean being submissive. Humble means that you're able to pivot. You know something is not working out, so you have to shift. Like the people who had lost their jobs, they knew that this is not working out. They were changing to entrepreneurship. When they started a startup, maybe that was not working out. It was not as per the market conditions. They had to pivot again. So in entrepreneurship, you can pivot things. Additionally, as the business grows, new opportunities and possibilities open up, providing a sense of continued growth and progress. For me also, a lot of more opportunities open up. I started helping VC funds to raise funds. Apart from this, I have also raised funds for four VC funds, which opened up when I started this journey as well. Then another possibility that came in was I became an influencer marketing person as well. I have done this for two brands already. So different possibilities started coming up. People started inviting me for speaking sessions. So the opportunities keep multiplying once you step into entrepreneurship. Now, it also helps, a person with communication and leadership skills. Being an entrepreneur requires strong communication and leadership skills in order to effectively manage a team, negotiate with clients and partners, and make important business decisions. As an entrepreneur, you need to be able to clearly convey your vision and goals to your employees, as well as persuade and influence others to support and invest in your business. So, not only you are growing, your employees are growing, your vision is seen by the investors, by the clients, by the partners. You are able to support a lot many people. Um, After in the beginning, when I had first come back to India in the first year, I was looking for support, but now I can support many people. So that was the change that happened being an entrepreneur. It also gives you the room for creativity and innovation. Now, being an entrepreneur gives room for innovation because it encourages creativity, problem solving, and adaptability. And entrepreneurs are always looking for ways to improve and grow their business. And this is the drive for progress and improvement, fosters an environment of innovation. We can see innovative companies that have come up during COVID. Now recession might hit us. We might see more innovative companies coming up in AI, robotics, ML, in the health tech startup especially. I have seen a lot of growth. So, these are the different things, creativity and innovation that can help us as well. Now, what is the difference between an employee and an entrepreneur? Let's take the chat box again for you to answer, and you can come up with as many answers as you want. So what is the difference between an employee and an entrepreneur as per you? Anybody can take this answer out. Okay, we have no answers coming in here. So I'll just move to the next slide. So let's see the difference. Entrepreneurs live for risks, while employees fear away from taking them. Entrepreneurs make and break plans, while employees merely follow them. Now, entrepreneurs live for risk. Every day is a risk. You're taking a risk by, switching from a monthly paid job to suddenly to an entrepreneurship journey where you don't know whether the next month you'll have earnings or no, whether the business would be able to grow or no. So employees do fear from taking them because naturally at the end of the month they are getting that salary and they are helping themselves with the income that they are making from that job that they have taken up. Entrepreneurs make and break plans while employees merely follow them. Entrepreneurs plan on making money while employees care about getting money more at the end of the month. And entrepreneurs plan on making more and more money and trying to multiply that money. Entrepreneurs specialize in everything associated with their business, while employees restrict themselves to their departments. Like I said, even if you are an employee, I would encourage you to go to other departments, socialize, understand the other skill sets also. Because when you turn into an entrepreneur, you have to have the marketing skills, the technology skills, the financial skills, the operation skills. So it's very good to be associated with all the departments. Entrepreneurs create directions while employees seek a path. Now, this is the next question. What are the recent entrepreneurial trends in India? Anybody could take this up as well. I could look into the chat box if any answers are coming. What are the recent entrepreneur trends in India? Let's have a look. Is anybody answering? It's growing good, Yasir says. Anybody else? Okay, so here is what I have compiled, which can help you as well. Uh, According to the State of India Startup Ecosystem Report, which is in 2021, India has over 5,694 active investors and 30K startups. Hence, the trend of entrepreneurship and startup boom is increasing. Some development trend as follows: that rise of digital startups, e-commerce, fintech, edtech, all these came up, health tech, agri-tech, all these came up during the COVID period. Focus on social impact. This has been a growing trend of startups that focuses on creating social impact, addressing social issues. Government initiatives. The Indian government has launched several initiatives to promote entrepreneurship and make the startup ecosystem in the country. And if you see, there is Make in India, Digital India, and Startup India. These organizations have come up for the startups to. Oh, sorry. Now, funding Indian startups have been able to raise significant funding from venture capitalists, angel investors, private equity funds, and the Indian startup ecosystem has also seen a significant increase in the number of unicorns. Even though the funding winter is there, but I am still seeing a lot of investments happening. I myself am able to close 4 more deals this month in different sectors. So, of course, there's a slowdown, but the investments are still happening. Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, startups are coming up a lot. I've been called by the government of Gujarat also to look up into the business sector. So, as you can see, we are growing in this ecosystem. Now, let's go to the next question. What does an entrepreneur need to be? Anybody can take up the answer as well. What does an entrepreneur need to be? I mean, in terms of skills, what is it exactly that you need to be? So a successful entrepreneur is a person with a plan who knows exactly what they need to do and how. As an entrepreneur, the challenges you encounter could be different, but despite the hurdles that come your way, you must keep sight of two things: having a clear vision. Entrepreneurs need to identify their desired goals and create a stable vision, not just for themselves, but for anyone associated with the business. It drives and reminds everyone with the purpose behind it: perseverance. Having a certain business plan to achieve that vision. Knowing the vision for their business and working towards it with consistency, persistence, emotional intelligence is critical. And you need to strategize every move. So I have entrepreneurs coming to me with different business ideas, but they have not prepared a business plan. They don't want to invest in a proper professional pitch deck, or they have not even prepared a financial model, but they're looking for investment. So I think a successful entrepreneur, first of all, needs to have a clear vision. If your vision is not clear, then I think you will not be able to succeed. Also, perseverance, like I mentioned earlier, consistency and persistence always helps. These are some of the book recommendations. Start with Why is one of my favorite. The next one is also my favorite, $100 Startup, and Power of the Subconscious Mind. Now, why I chose a bit of spirituality here is because everything that we attract is from our subconscious mind, whether it is good or bad. Just like the law of gravity continuously is working towards us, similarly, the law of attraction is working with us. So, if you read the power of the subconscious mind, you will be able to attract the right kind of opportunities from the subconscious mind, and your mind will be in center. When you start your entrepreneurship journey, you will take wise steps and instead of just taking impulsive steps. And then is the lean startup. This is for budding entrepreneurs to build successful startups. And next slide is I'm open to questions. If any of you want to ask any questions, you may put it in the chat box or can ask me verbally as well.
So before we move into the Q&A session, we will be initiating the poll. Request all participants to kindly share your feedback. While you're all doing so, request all participants to kindly post their questions in the chat.
Yeah.
So Ms. Vandana, we have a few questions from the registrations. First question is, what kind skills and competencies are very necessary for entrepreneurship in today's most competitive market condition?
So, firstly, when you start up with the journey, many entrepreneurs are not aware that they need to make the company private limited. The team that they have should complement each other, a marketing team, a technology team, a financial team, because naturally, as a founder, you will not have all the skill sets. The other skill sets that one must have is patience, consistency, perseverance, and making the right move, not making irrational decisions. Like we have founders, uh, you know, we had got investments for two founders. One bought a car with it, the other treated cancer. So these kind of practices are not encouraged. If you don't know how to manage your finances, when you start with this journey, make sure you onboard a CFO who will be able to manage your wealth for you. I have seen investors who are burning their money, making wrong investments. That also you need the help of an investment banker like us to help you connect you with the right kind of company that has the proper skill set. For your own self, you must, of course, have the skill set, have the right vision, make sure you're solving a larger problem. And that is why you're creating the startup. So I think this is my take here.
Right, yeah. Second question is, how do I test my startup's viability in current market condition? Is there any specific evaluation method that can help me understand the potential of my startup and growth opportunities?
So the first and foremost step is, have you made your pitch deck, your business plan, your financial models and valuation with the help of a professional who understands the global market status? If you do that, you've already taken the first step. Second is to show the business plan uh, to an advisor who can advise you how to grow your company, what should be the next steps, whether you should be taking investments or you can make your earnings by bootstrapping the company. So I think these are the two steps that I would suggest, which are the basic steps. Yeah.
Right, correct. Third question is, what kind of mistakes usually modern age entrepreneurs tend to make during their business journey?
So the first mistake is that they don't have a complementary team. The second mistake that they make is if you've hired an investment banker, you have to understand that they are in your favor and they will be giving you the realistic valuations for your company. We had a founder who had come to us. We told him that his valuation is this much realistic, but he had calculated something else. So he, in his head, that was what was going on, which was not realistic. So these are the two mistakes. Also, I have seen founders who are not humble, and everything they take on their ego. So the first and foremost lesson for entrepreneurship is you have to brush away your ego and have the patience to deal with everything with a calm mind. If you can't do that, then I think you've lost the battle there itself.
Right, very true. So one more question we have here. As per the recent study by some institutes, too many enterprises and startups come in every day, and some of them majority exist in very short term. Why this happens?
So many startups open up and they shut down because what is happening is that people are following the buzz of startup. It's become more of a trend.
Mm.
Instead of making a rational decision by first executing a business plan, seeing if it's going to work, going and taking a survey in the market that whether this is doable or no. Instead of taking all these steps, one is just jumping into it, burning money, whether it's the investors' money or their own money into too much of marketing, doing too much of excess expenditure, having an office which is not necessary when you're having a startup, and hiring people with expensive salaries. So I think these are the few steps that you need to be cautious, and you have to see whether what are the results that you're getting. What is the result? Whether you're making earnings or you're losing money. If you're making earnings, then definitely you are working towards your goal. But if you're losing money, then definitely you're doing something wrong.
Right. So these are all the questions. Once again, I thank all our participants for joining our session today. We have received a lot of inquiry about the e-certificate offered by HRAI. You can claim your certificate by sharing your details, name and session attended in an email to the email ID provided in the chat window. Please ensure you do this by end of this month. We will email the e-certificates to you based on the details received. Thank you, Ms. Vandana, for an insightful and intriguing session. It has been a pleasure being with you today, and I'm sure our participants had a lot to learn and takeaways from this session. Before we conclude with today's session, we would also want to thank our event partners, Geisha, NASCOM COE, LinkedIn Local, Telgrow, TLE, and WICCI for supporting these HRA events. To know more about them, request you to kindly visit the links provided in the chat window. Thank you once again, dear speaker and our participants for joining us today. Do join us for our next webinar on connecting the dots on 2nd February 2023 at 3 p.m. That's it from our today's webinar. See you soon. Stay safe, take care, and bye for now.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Vandana.